Get a visa this year. That's why I'm in the UK. That's why this is here. It was for Six Flags, this thing, in Texas, because it's got an electric chair in it. It's very American. You can see it's very American. The whole way the whole thing's put together. It's all very over the top, very dramatic. My face is all over the front of it. So your face. It all comes together quite well. So if we go into the first room. Now the first trick starts in the very beginning of the attraction. What I'm trying to do to people is make them believe that they're in a facility. It's got to look like a prison on the outside, so we can trick people on the inside. The building is only 9 meters by 7.5 meters in size. It's very small for a terror attraction. So we have to make it last about 5-6 minute show to do the shows, and that's why we stage the first show, which lasts a minute and a half, the centre show, which lasts for about 45 seconds, and the last show, which lasts for 20 seconds maximum. That means we can bridge the gaps between the two different areas and get people through. The reason why I'm bringing him to a prison facility is one, James Monroe is being executed, and we're tricking the audience immediately. What we have to do is, when you're outside in the queue line, you're seeing a prison, and you're having the preconception of a prison. You've got prisoners, you've got murderers, you've got jail cells, you've got all these things that you would expect in a prison. That's not what happens in Slasher. What Slasher does, he takes you into his nightmare, and he takes you back to when he was working on maintaining bonds, when he mass murdered 28 people. So when we come into the first showroom, there he is. Everyone, this is Chris. This is the first Slasher #1. Hi, James. I'm terribly sorry. This is James. He's Slasher #1. As I say, when the show goes off, we've got health and safety wise. We'll turn it on for a second. Yeah, 5 years in the cell.
Slasher is experiencing technical difficulties. Please follow a
the normal theme park announcement that we all love. It's basically if anyone has a panic attack or anything goes wrong, I know in the control room immediately that something's been triggered, that one of the shows has failed in some shape or form. We can turn it on through the entire attraction, get people out safely.
Slasher is experiencing technical difficulties.
As a theme park
Please follow
designer,
a member of staff to the nearest exit.
to explain to people that budgets control, keep making people feel terrified, but keeping them safe. And we always have this push backwards and forwards between health and safety, what we can do, because believe me, if I could get away with some stuff that goes on in my mind, then
please follow a member of staff to the nearest exit.
You probably wouldn't come out alive.
Thank you.
I'm going to be honest with that, with the things that go through my head. So it's always keeping people safe. Now, Slasher, I'll show you the tech room later, which is in the back area, all the amps and all the speakers control us. But the main
Slasher is
shows are
experiencing
controlled by
technical difficulties.
$4.99
Please follow
of
a member of
Amazon
staff to the
control
nearest
pads.
exit.
They're numpads.
Thank you.
And what they do is when you hold down plus, that primes the show, and 5 brings on the pre-show. So right now we can control the computer in the other room that won pre-show. And quite simple touch of a button, 8, you get a bit of a drop, and then the actual show starts. And as all the lights go off, and we've got the smoke machines hidden up behind this vent. In a themed environment, it's always good to try and hide all of your gags and all of these things, and really think how the audience is going to perceive it. And of course, we've got our lovely hidden door here, which he comes through in front of you to scare the hell out of you. Back and forth. You've probably seen this show 3 times now. Find it. Now you've got the problem of the other actors in this facility with my whole numpads of not actually seeing what they're pressing. So we get the safety announcements come on when they really shouldn't. So we have 8. It's going on again. Shut him up. So this is showroom 1, and what we're trying to do is introduce people to the attraction. We sit them down to make you feel uncomfortable. Whenever you go to a theme park and you see a terror attraction, they're always fighting, I don't want to be first, I don't want to be last. Well, screw that, because you're all going to be in the middle. I don't care. You're all going to get it with me. Sitting people down makes them feel uncomfortable. Getting the actor in front of the crowd makes them feel even more uncomfortable. Then when he disappears again, you're thinking, where is he? Then she gets a throat slit, or hell breaks loose, and when we are ready, Slasher 1 disappears out the back door and uses this door push on to show 2 to get into the terror maze. very simple. What I've done there is you come into this room and you think there's no doors out of here. Is this it? Is this the show? And then the end of it, this door opens and we go into the Slash's Nightmare where we've got the barn theme, all hell breaks loose. You're no longer in a prison facility anymore, so you're thinking, what's down here? Because we've just removed you from the reality. So if you all want to follow me, is anyone else in here? You know to make me shit myself, right? Right, if you can find your way, I should be able to know this at the back of my hand, but I always get lost. Hold hand, hold hand. Alright, so, right now you're going to see the tracks of all the dogs.
They're coming in here or staying here?
There we go.
Slasher is experiencing technical difficulties.
So, what we've done is we've created a chicken run. And the way you bring people in is the easiest way to create a
Slasher is
area
experiencing technical
is
difficulties.
change the fence.
Please follow a member of staff to the nearest
Now,
exit.
is that all on?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's all up.
Technical, hardcore. Very easy, hooked up to an arc welder. Make it safe, you've got an emergency stop button attached to it. If I hold that too long, it will weld itself.
Slasher is experiencing
Very, very basic copper
Please follow
pipe.
a member of
Can't get
staff
to
to
you,
the
that front
nearest
fence is
exit.
completely
Thank you.
wired off. So if you touch that fence, in fact, I can touch that fence while it's sparking. Now if I touch the copper and that's going to hurt. So I won't do that, I won't show you that.
Slasher is
He's got
experiencing
gloves.
technical difficulties. Please follow a member of staff to
And
the
again, in
nearest
this show,
exit.
what we've done is we've made it look, the building look much, much, much bigger by creating this very long corridor. Now, this is the actor corridor. I'll show you that in a minute. This is the actor runs. It branches this way and that way to reach all areas, and all the way down the front. On a very, very small day, we can run this whole attraction with only 4 members of staff because they can get round. The first slasher in scene 1 will follow your group round all the way if we have a very, very small amount of people. When I design an attraction, I like to think how many can we have and how many can't we have, so we can give the theme park operator the choice of paying actors and how much money the budget to run the attraction is going to cost. So when all this is all hooked up and it all goes together with all the smoke machines and everything else, we get something that draws out the whole space. So it starts by the lights following the actors coming forward. We've got showroom 1, show light 2, show light 3, and all hell breaks loose in front of everyone. Thank you very much.
Please follow a member of
He's
staff to
breaking
the
it all.
nearest exit.
I have an awful.
Thank
So
you.
what we're doing in here design-wise is we're just dragging out the space. We're making this building feel like it's 12 metres wide. So if you want to follow me around to the next section. And again, what we've done is we're making it very American now. We're bringing in the whole music tracks ramped up, a little bit more intense in here. And we've got the stereotypical, lovely, which I'm very proud of because I cut it out myself, Slasher Warden. I didn't spell it wrong because that's one of my big problems. So you get the light coming through, so then when we get one of the actor victims to walk on the other side of it, you can see something moving on the next wall, so you know something's in front of you coming forward. Again, we're creating that suspense. The person at the front thinks, I don't want to go forward. The person at the back knows there's someone there and says, I don't want to go backwards. And you're being attacked here, so everything is going crazy all around you, using very minimal amount of staff as possible in the attraction to go forward. So we come forward. Welcome to the final room. This is the final encounter. Now, wait for everyone to come in the room, I guess. Before I carry on talking, I'm just going off on it. Is everyone in? So this is the acting room. You probably haven't noticed there is a guy standing behind you in that corner. He's still there. You can't see him because we've put lights in your face. We put a low-level haze in here, so what happens is the lights bounce off that. You can't see him there. And when you come into the room, the focal wall is this wall. Now, if you notice in here, we have. Can you just do show 1 on there to get the safety announcement to come on? We'll bring the lights so we can see it properly. Oh, big blue light, sorry, that's really bad idea. What we've done is we've got the barn, we've got the concrete prison, we've brought the electric chair back, and we're bringing the whole attraction, the whole circle. You're now getting to the end of James Monroe's nightmare and the final stages of his life where he was electrocuted. It wraps the whole story together, it brings in the whole element, and all hell breaks loose in here, as you've seen many times before you've run people out of the room. Creating an entertaining attraction rather than a traumatic one, as I say. This is one of my 5-star attractions, as in it's my scariest I'm prepared to do. I like to entertain people, that's what I do. If people are coming out of here traumatised, I haven't done my job properly. I haven't. I want people coming out of that door laughing, having fun, oh that was great, I really enjoyed it, because that's a good positive experience. We're taking you through a whole movie experience, but you're laughing at it and you survived something. If you came out just like crying your eyes out, I would feel quite bad, because I missed my mark. All the months of writing the shows, working out what's traumatic, what's not traumatic, how to lift people back in, which mainly comes from the music tracks that Chris did. When we've got music like that playing, you're removing them slightly from that traumatic zone. You can hear the music in your head and you think, oh, this is quite fun, entertaining attraction going on. Then we bring you back in with the screaming and the shouting and the crying and the trauma. But you get a bar going up and down like your petrol gauge of trying to get it right, and that's the whole attraction together and how it works. People have fun. That's why I do what I do, to entertain. So I'll show you the tech room and show you how it all comes together. I think you're going to be quite surprised how basic it is, but if you'd like to follow me. Show 1, show 2, show 3 and external. And all these hook up, obviously we control the audio levels in here and all the amps. Now the 3 computers at the back there control all the shows. That's what they do. We've all got my face on it, saying Slasher when I know if I got the logos on. I'm very proud of that background. There we go, my face. So what I can do from here is when an emergency show is being triggered, my phone vibrates, so I know that someone's activated the panic in there, so I can get straight in there and get straight to the problem and work out what's happened and what's gone wrong. So with these shows, it's just simply a case of me this is showroom 1, if I double click there, you can hear it start. And I can control each show from in here if they go wrong, I can control all the emergency lights from here if I need to. And that is it, that is the brains behind Slasher. It just uses DMX lights to code all the shows, really, really clever audio, really good lighting, really good actors, bring it all together and then entertain people to have a good time. And that's Slasher. So, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, well done.